Indeed, what God cannot do does not exist. My name is Eunice Alebode, and I'm making this testimony from Port Harcourt. And Pastor, I can finally say I have my evidence. Towards the end of 2021, December, my son came down with flu. So we just thought it was the usuals, and I and my husband were treating. But unfortunately, this flu lasted till the end of January. We were just managing him because he had to go to school. At the time, he couldn't go to school. On the 1st of February, my son begins to complain that he's having a sharp pain at his side. So I managed him that morning and I stepped out for some few hours. I tried to get back before 12 o'clock. And on getting back, he was like, "Mommy, did you get me an inhaler?" I said, "Ryan, you don't need an inhaler." Is it because Angela uses an inhaler? My neighbor's daughter has got asthma, so she's in that inhaler they pump in her mouth once in a while. So I thought he just wanted one for himself. Little did I know my son was having labored breathing. I tried to manage Ryan because I thought he was going to be fine, as my husband had already taken him to the hospital the Sunday before that week, and they gave them some few medicines. So that's what I was administering to him. The next thing he says, "Mommy, I can't walk." The pain was excruciating and he was tilting to his right. We get to the hospital. The doctor, they ran some tests on him and they had a chest x-ray. The doctor's face just said everything. It was like, God, his chest x-ray is bizarre. Now, why did you people wait so long? Was he having flu? I said, yes. What was the color? I said, doctor, it was like a yellowish green. I was like, madam, you should have brought him all this while. Well, madam, you have to be admitted. Your son is sick. So then they admit Ryan. And then my colleague calls me that same force. Eunice, how are you? I said, I'm fine, but Rachel, I'm in the hospital. We have been admitted. Ryan is so sick. And then she comes on the next day to visit me. She tells me, Eunice, have you heard of NSPD? NSPD. I know NSPD. Now, is it today NSPD? I was even on it, but at the time I stopped. It's just prayers. Now, Rachel, I can pray in the house. Okay, it won't take anything from you. Just hook on to it. Tomorrow, you understand? Do your job. Just keep at the side of Ryan as you're doing it. You'll just be listening to it. So that's okay. And the doctor comes in the morning, checks my son. Very early. They come very early for their rounds. The pediatrician. He was like, madam, where is your husband? I said, he stepped out to get something for us. He said, please call him. I need to talk to you both. My husband comes in. I said, please, let's step out. He said, your son is very sick. I can't try to buttress it to make it look a little bit calm or something. Your son is so sick. I want to tell you as it is now, so we should just be ready for anything. Your son has got pneumonia. And your son has heart failure. When I heard that part, I said, heart failure. For a child of 6 years. What are you thinking about? He said, madam, there's more to that. A child can also have heart failure. Your son will be needing a blood transfusion because right now he's anemic. Your son will be having a COVID-19 test. Your son will have a tuberculosis test. And from his chest x-ray, he's got fluid in his system and we might have to drain. And draining will mean putting a pipe through his rib. It could be for a week or two to drain out the fluid. God, I began to imagine, for just one child, all this wahala. Pastor, on the 3rd, I hooked onto NSPPD. Passively, I must confess, passively. I just put it on. Ryan was on the bed. I was doing my thing, and the next thing I would just say amen when prayers come up. And I heard you, Pastor Jerry, mention heart failure. You said there is a child here who is not up to 10 years. The doctor said you have heart failure and you cancelled it immediately. I was like a mad woman. I grabbed my son. I said, Ryan, did you hear that? Pastor Jerry has called our case heart failure. He immediately started praying and we say, I taught him to start to say, what God cannot do does not exist. We prayed. I was excited that day. And Pastor Jerry was like, if you're the mother, if you're that woman, put it up. Immediately I typed. I said, it is me. My name is Eunice Alebode. My son Ryan is sick right now in the hospital and the doctor says he has heart failure.
I hear it again. This child is not up to 10 years, but he has heart failure. Heart failure. Heart failure. Heart failure. Abashada. If it's your child, put it on the live stream. By the power that raised Jesus from the dead, I command heart failure be reversed.
I felt good in my spirit. And the next day, it was time for our tests. My son was on the stretcher. He couldn't sit up. A young, vibrant child, very intelligent, smart child, active child, was just lying there helped. I couldn't do anything as a mother. But Pastor went. We did our chest x-ray again. We did the COVID-19 tests. They took us to 2 different places, 2 different labs, so they can have a second opinion to do the tuberculosis test. And then I told my God, all these test results will come back negative. This is how I want my evidence. Pastor, lo and behold, as time went by, things began to change. COVID-19 test came back negative. I said, God, what you cannot does not exist. Tuberculosis test came negative. This is one. Look at it, MTB not detected. This is the second one. Test results, MTB not detected for Ryan and anybody. And then we went for another CT scan. These are my son's films. Pastor, my son began to heal. His lung that was not working, his right lung began to heal. The doctor was amazed. Even the fluid in his system is small. We don't have to drain again. No more blood transfusion. God. I told the doctor, I told you, what God cannot do does not exist. I feel so good. I feel so happy. My son is now strong. Ryan can now go to school. He has gone to school with his brother. What God cannot do does not exist.